Hello, my dear children. Let's complete this lengthy chapter with few topics which are left. Addition reactions. Addition, the word says that one compound will be added to the other compound. Only simple, and one compound will be formed. Whatever you have studied about addition reaction, this only is here. You can say that these are the reactions in which products are formed by the addition of some reagent. Okay, product is being formed by the addition of some reagent. Something more should be added as you are studying in this in organic chemistry. So the reagent which is being attached to the unsaturated organic compound. I hope you remember unsaturated means double bond and triple bond compounds. Yeah, are your alkenes, alkynes are your unsaturated compound. So when a product is being formed by the addition of some reagent to an unsaturated organic compound. One example is shown in the screen. Alkene, when hydrogen bromide is attacking an alkene, you can see that hydrogen is attached to one carbon and bromide ion is attached to other carbon. Why both are not attached together? That comes under the Markovnikov's rule that I will discuss when I will tell you about the electrophilic addition reaction. Here, just only understand the addition reaction. So, a reagent is being attached to an unsaturated organic compound to give a product. This is addition reaction. Like substitution, addition reaction is also of three types: nucleophilic addition reaction, electrophilic addition reaction, and free radical addition reaction. Let's see first the nucleophilic addition reaction. A very good example is given in your book. You can see in your book page number 785. You can see that acetone is given there. First, you should know what is nucleophilic addition reaction. These are the reaction in which the attacking reagent is a nucleophile. Okay, a attacking reagent will be a nucleophile such as cyanide ion. That example only is given in your book. You can see that a nucleophile is attacking the electrophilic carbon atom of the polar carbonyl group. Okay, you can see that acetone, how carbon plus is being formed. When carbon and oxygen is there, electron is being shifted towards the more electronegative atom, oxygen. Carbon is becoming positive. That is your now electrophilic carbon. To this carbon only the cyano group, in the next reaction you can say that a slow reaction, cyano group is being attached to that carbon and acetone cyanohydrin is being formed. So this is your nucleophilic addition reaction. Now see electrophilic addition reaction. In such reactions, attacking reagent is an electrophile, means whatever that will contain a positive sign H plus, Cl plus. These are the electrophile which will get attached to give the product. And you have to remember that electrophilic addition reactions are typical of alkenes and alkynes. You will find the electrophilic addition reaction in alkenes and alkynes. Here you can see that one alkene is getting attacked by hydrogen bromide. Now hydrogen and bromide ion is getting attached to different carbon, and this is governed by the Markovnikov's rule. Try to understand what the rule says. The addition of unsymmetrical reagent. Unsymmetrical reagent just such as HX. HX means X can be halogen. HCl, HBr, Hi, that is your HX, H2O, etc. So the addition of unsymmetrical reagent to unsymmetrical alkenes occur in such a way that the negative part of the adding molecule goes to that carbon atom of carbon-carbon double bond which has lesser number of hydrogen atoms. Suppose HBr is reacting to an unsymmetrical alkene. Unsymmetrical alkene means, let's take the example of propene. CH3 CH double bond CH2 plus HBr. The product will be CH3 CH Br CH3. Okay, here is your unsymmetrical alkene, CH double bond CH3 CH double bond CH2 plus HBr. The addition of unsymmetrical reagent. Unsymmetrical reagent here is hydrogen bromide. It will attack the unsymmetrical alkene. Here unsymmetrical alkene is propene. And now this hydrogen and bromide. Bromide will be delta negative. H will be delta positive. Okay. Now this bromide, and this will go this. When we will see the mechanism of this reaction, alkyl groups are electron donating. Pi electrons are transferred in the direction of the arrow. Hydrogen ion attacks 1 2 3. If we'll do the numbering, hydrogen will attack to this C1 to produce more stable secondary carbocation. And the second step, the negative part of adding molecule attacks to C2, means this hydrogen is attacking to this carbon and the bromide will attack to this carbon which has lesser number of hydrogen. Okay, CH2 more hydrogen than CH, so hydrogen is attacking to CH2, C of CH2, and bromide will attack to this carbon which is having lesser number of hydrogen, so the product form is CH2 CH Br CH3. This is 2-bromopropane. 1 2 3 2-bromopropane, and this is the Markovnikov's rule. And we have to remember that the electrophilic addition of alkenes proceeds through the formation of more stable carbocation intermediate. And you should also know that Markovnikov, why this name has been given. Markovnikov was a Russian chemist and Markovnikov is his English name. Next is free radical addition reaction. The third type is free radical addition reactions. In such reactions, attacking reagent is a free radical. For example, addition of hydrogen bromide to alkenes in presence of peroxide. And this effect is this reaction is also known as peroxide effect or Kharash peroxide effect, and it works as to the anti to the Markovnikov's rule. So it follows anti-Markovnikov's rule. Page 785, very good example is given. You can see that organic peroxide is going through homolytic fission by producing alkoxy free radicals, and to this alkoxy free radical hydrogen bromide is being attached and bromide free radical is being formed. Then it will attack the unsymmetrical alkene, the propene molecule, to give two possible bromoalkyl free radicals. Okay, the mechanism is also given in your book. Next is elimination reactions. These reactions involve the removal of atoms or group of atoms from two adjacent carbons of the substrate to form a multiple bond. Elimination, as the word says, something will be a small molecule like H2O, HCl, this type of small molecules will be eliminated from the compound, and single bond will be converted into multiple bond such as double bond. These reactions may be regarded as a reverse of addition reactions. Okay, that is, saturated compounds become unsaturated. The example is given in your book. You can see how alcoholic KOH in presence of alcoholic medium, the alkyl halide. This is a typical example for the elimination reaction. Elimination reactions are also of two types, E1 and E2. E1 means unimolecular elimination reaction. Unimolecular says that the rate of the reaction depends only upon the substrate, and E2 reactions means bimolecular elimination reactions, in which the rate of reaction depends upon the substrate as well as attacking species. Next is rearrangement reactions. Rearrangement reactions are those reactions in which the reactions involving the migration of an atom or group from one atom to another within the same molecule are called rearrangement reactions. A very simple example for rearrangement reaction we can take of ammonium cyanate. Just see the reaction what I am writing. Ammonium cyanate, that is NH4CNO. When we will heat, it will be rearranged and it will give urea, NH2CO NH2. Okay, this is rearrangement reaction, and rearrangement can be done intramolecular and it can also happen intermolecular. Intramolecular rearrangement reaction proceed by an intramolecular change, means the migrating atom or group which is fully detached from the system always remains associated with the substrate molecule during the process of migration. Okay, so the example which is given in your book, normal butane is getting rearranged and it is becoming isobutane, means the moiety which was being leaving the, it is not leaving the compound, it is being remain in the product. So normal butane is becoming isobutane. And for intermolecular rearrangement types, in this the migrating group leaves the substrate molecule during the process of migration and later on gets reattached at some other site of the rest of the substrate molecule. You can again see in your book the formation of para-aminoazobenzene. Next is condensation reaction. This is very important reaction and very easy reaction, and it is asked in many of the competitive exams with the name of aldol condensation. This condensation reaction is famous with the name of aldol condensation. Why it is called aldol? Because in the product aldol is formed. What is aldol? When two molecule of acetaldehyde get attached and aldol is formed, you will see in the reaction. First understand what is the condensation reaction. In this reaction, two or more molecules of the same or different, do remember the example is given for the same but different also can be there, same or different reactants combine to form a product with or without the elimination of simple molecules. Means simple molecules like water, HCl, ammonia can be removed and cannot be removed. It is not fixed that it has to be removed. Okay, so depends upon the reaction, is called condensation reaction. The example which is given in your book, you can see that acetaldehyde. What will be the IUPAC name of acetaldehyde? Ethanol. When two molecules of ethanol are reacting, they are forming aldol. What is aldol? 3-hydroxybutanol is known as aldol. Okay, and when this aldol thus formed, loses a water molecule to give but-2-ene 1-ul. It is also known as crotonaldehyde. Isomerization reaction. Those reactions which involve interconversion of isomers, keeping the molecular formula, means molecular formula will remain same and interconversion will occur in between the isomers, and the carbon skeletons of the reactant and the product may remains intact. This is called isomerization reaction. You can see the example how trans-but-2-ene is getting into cis-but-2-ene. So this type of reactions are known as isomerization reactions. Next is pericyclic reactions. The reactions which do not involve ionic or free radical intermediates but occur in a single step via a cyclic transition state are called pericyclic reactions. You can see two ethylene molecules are getting attached and they are making a cyclobutane. So this is pericyclic reactions. This was all about your organic chemistry, some basic principles and techniques. Thank you so much, children. Next chapter is structure of atoms, second chapter, and that I will start from my next lecture. So read a little bit. First you just mark out, or when I will bring the lecture I will tell you what are the deductions, so that you may only study whatever you have to study in this year. Okay, thank you so much, children.